form of prayer. Father, we thank you, Lord, for giving us another opportunity and privilege, Lord, that we can be blessed by your word. And we commit to you and we pray, Lord, for the servants of Pastor Mel, that you will sustain him and give him strength with power, Lord. They have to preach with humility, with conviction, and with authority. Father, capture our hearts, captivate our hearts, Lord, through your word and by your word. All these things we pray in Jesus' name.
Atong meditation. Passages na o chapters na atong ibasa sa atong reader kanina o ini maong chapters na kisgot mahitungod sa relationship ni Lot o ni Abraham. So atong meditation ako nakita itulan o is it God? This is the title of our meditation this morning. Yan itong miaging Saturday night of July 30, 2016. President Duterte decided to lift the unilateral ceasefire and place troops in higher alert after the CPP-NPA failed his deadline to make their own declaration. This deadline was issued following an ambush by the NPA in Davao del Norte na resulta sa kamatayon sa usa ka AFP civilian volunteer. Ang murag kapgo o pagkasamad sa upat ng mga kauban. As President of the nation, President Duterte has many things to decide. Like President Duterte, we are confronted every day with different concerns that need decisions. Sa mga ulitaw, decide sila kung kinsay ilang pangulitawhan. Sa mga dalaga, decide sila kung kinsay ilang sukton. Sa adunay uyab, decide sila kung iniba gayon ang ilang menyuan. Sa mga walay trabaho, decide sila ang hibadun kung ang company mag-apply o mag-trabaho. Sa mga battered wives, decide sila kung magmartir pa po, kung buwiya pa po sa akong bana. Sa wak pa mga membro sa iglesia, sila maghuna-huna ang ibang kumujoin sa ICC o magita sa simbahan. Daghan o lain-lain ang mga issues na anay desisyonan. The context of our text in chapter 13, verses 5 through 7, tells us that because of the greatly increasing number of possessions of Abraham and Lot, the land could no longer support both of their animals. A quarrel between Abraham's herdsmen and Lot's herdsmen occurred. Because of this, Abraham had decided that he and Lot would separate. So he said in verses 8 through 9 of chapter 13, let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herdsmen and mine, for we are brothers. It's not the whole land before you, let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. This land was the land promised by God to Abraham to possess in Genesis chapter 12. So, it rightfully belonged to Abraham. Iyan ni Abraham. Yet, he had given Lot the privilege to choose which part he would like to occupy. So, Lot had to decide. Making right decision is one of the hardest tasks to do in life. Sometimes we find it hard to distinguish between good and bad choices that lead us to make bad decisions and make us suffer the consequences. Ang paghigo sa hustong desisyon mao ang pinakalisod nagtahas sa kinabuhi. Usahay maglisod kita sa pag-ila, kaliwala sa maayo ug dautan, nga pagpili o usahay pagdili sa kadaghang mga panahon, dili na hinuon ta maka-decide sa gusto. Usahay ang dautan ng atong pagdesisyonan, resulta mag-antos ta sa linugdanan diini. So our challenge this morning is that to avoid confusion, every Christian should identify a bad decision. We can identify the bad decision by knowing its aspects. And there are two aspects revealed in the text. And what are its two aspects? The two aspects are its characteristic or characteristics and its consequences. Duha. Characteristics and consequences. Because these two aspects are quite long, I will only discuss its characteristics this morning. Tingali ang consequences, tingali kung nagagawin sa Ginoo. Ako ni padayon sa share ka dito. Now, the first aspect of bad decision is its characteristics. We need to know the characteristics of a bad decision. Kinahanglan mahimulog kita kung saan kinaiyahan sa dautan nga decision. What makes a decision bad according to the teaching of the Bible? What are its characteristics? The first characteristic, a decision is bad when it is based on personal interest only. Genesis chapter 13, verse 10 through 13. Now let's read verse 10 through 11. It says, Lot looked up and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt toward Zoar. This was open close. Wala pa ma-destroy ang Sodom and Gomorrah. Now look at verse 11. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan. Iyang ipili para sa iyang kaugalingon. Lot based his decision on his personal interest only. And why do we say that he based his decision on his personal interest only? Now look at verse 11. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of Jordan. nipili siya para lang sa iyang kaugalingon. Nang mipili man siya, niining tibuok kapatagan sa Jordan. The verse 10 says, Lot chose the whole plain of Jordan because he saw the Jordan River there. The whole plain was like the garden of the Lord, like Egypt. Why did he liken the whole plain of Jordan with the garden of the Lord and with Egypt? It was like the garden of the Lord because it was full of vegetation and trees. And why Egypt? Egypt is rendered so fertile by overflowing the Nile River in the direction of Zoar, and people there had never experienced drought. They have a good source of water for irrigation that produces good pastures for their animals. This is why Abraham and Lot went to live in Egypt temporarily when the drought came in Canaan, according to chapter 12, verse 10 of Genesis. Tungod sa huwaw nga nahitabo diha sa Kanaan, temporaryo silang namuyo sa lugar sa Egypt. There in Egypt, Lot experienced the city life with its abundance of food. The people there were financially secure and had a comfortable living. Ito sa Egypt, nakatagamtam si Lot o kaabundansya sa pagkaon o kahamugaway sa kinabuhi. They had lots of trees, vegetables, fruits, and healthy animals. Wala silang magtisod sa pagkaon sa ilang hayupan, kay ang mga sabot kanunay tambok lampas, kaysa kanunay nagadagayday ang tubig sa suba sa layo. Ang ilang hayupan himso, usap kinibisanay o hidaghan. Healthy animals result in good reproduction. And good reproduction means a lot of money. A lot of money means a comfortable living. Because of his good experience in Egypt, Lot aimed to maintain it. Gusto siya na ma-maintain kining maong kinabuhi. So, he looked at the whole plain of Jordan as a desirable place to live because of the presence of Jordan River. Aside from this, Sodom was sitting right along one of the major trade roads of the Middle East. Usani sa mga nindot na kasada patungan ko sa Middle East. Caravans would regularly travel along this road. And what do you think was in the mind of Lot when he saw the land? Kung sa kay naas iyang una-una. Now in Lot's mind, this meant economic prosperity. Good business. More riches and wealth. Ana sa utok ni Lot ang maayong negosyo. Daghang kwarta. Komportable nga kinabuhi. Iyang ila ang halapan ng kapatagan sa Jordan na sama sa hardin sa Ginoo o sama sa Egypt. Kini abundansya. Kini mamugna og daghang kwarta. So, he chose partly the best portion of the land. Sayo pa nga mag-aim for a better living. Sayo pa to pursue it. Of course not. As long as you have done it in the will of God. The Bible records rich people like Abraham, like David, like Solomon, and many others who were doing well in their business. At kinsa man ato din ang ganahan o lisod-lisod. Kinsa man nato din ganahan o hasol na kinabuhi. O bitang gusto ta palawan po siya kay way hasol. Bakit? Thank you na ganahan, di ba? Ganahan ko tagluan o kamugaway at tinabuhi. Ganahan ko mapartahan. Maunang ukayod ko tamang sa ginhawa bahalag nga upaw. But in his call to acquire more money and maintain a prosperous life, Lot failed to consider two areas in his life that made him selfish. What are these? Number one, in his decision, Lot failed to consider his relative Abraham. Chapter 13, verses 10 to 11. Ang iyang desisyon, siya napakya sa pagpuna-puna ng Abraham, ingon na iyang iyuman. Because we are treating with decision making, allow me to differentiate between Abraham's decision and Lot's decision. Let's take a look at Abraham's decision in chapter 13, verses 8 through 9. It says, so Abram pa yan nga, hindi ba Abraham, said to Lot, let's have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herdsmen and mine, for we are brothers. In his decision to separate, Abraham considered his relation with Lot. He considered his rights and sacrificed his personal interest for the sake of his nephew. Verse 8 says, for we are brothers. Actually, Lot and Abraham were not really brothers. In the context in Genesis 12 verse 5 in King James Version, Lot is the son of Abraham's brother. Anak siya sa igsoon ni Abraham. In NIV, it is stated as he was Abraham's nephew. So the word brothers here means relatives or kadugo. Ang may katungod na mupili o una-unta sa lahat mao si Abraham. Kay siya may gisaaran sa Dios na ini nga mauyuta. Plus siya pud ang maguwang kung mag-isgot ta og edad. Kay sa ilang kultura, ang maguwang mauman ang may dagkong katungod sa mga kaptangan. Apan bisan pa niini si Abraham mihatag og consideration kang Lot ingon nga iyang adugo. Iyang gipili si Lot, iyang ipapili si Lot paguna. In return to the favor given, Lot failed to consider his relative Abraham. When he made a decision to choose the land. And why do I say this? It is because in verse 11 says, so Lot chose for himself the whole land of the Jordan. And think not the praises for himself and the whole land. He could have said, okay, Uncle Abraham, even if you have granted me the choice of the land, to be fair, you take one side of the Jordan River Valley, I will take the other. We will both have fertile valleys and plenty of water for herds, and we will have the Jordan River separating us to prevent the strife. Aron dili na ta mag-away. But no, he took it all. He took all the best and left Abraham with that which seemed worthless, the rottenness. Ipiling ni Lot ang tibuok kapatagan sa Jordan sa way pagkunahuna ni Abraham. Naniguro lamang si Lot sa iyang kaugalingong kayuhan. Wala niya mahini si Abraham sa maayong yuta. Lot became selfish and valued wealth over his relative Abraham. His decision was based on his personal interest only, and he made his decision. Why? It is because Philippians chapter 2 verse 4 says, each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. Ang Biblia nagtudlo kanato nga sa atong mga desisyon, atong konsiderahan dili lamang ang atong kaugalingong kayuhan, kundi ang kayuhan usab sa iban. Kinahanglan kini ibalansi kayo, balance. Dili sayop ang pagpaningkamot aron madako, aron muuswag ang kinabuhi, mulambo ang negosyo, kung sa imong paghimo niini imong ihunahuna dili lamang ang imong kaugalingon, kundi ang kayuhan usab sa uban. Lot's decision was for his personal interest only, because his focus was on the future wealth. Abraham's decision was to give favor to Lot because his focus was on God, the source of wealth. Ang kang Lot decision, kwarta versus gugma. Ang iyang ipili, kwarta. Kwarta, pililhon, bahala nagrelasyon. Naipunting ang pananaw ni Lot sa mga butang ng malabay ra. Matod pa nila, pira walang forever. Apan ang pananaw ni Abraham dito sa tinutkan sa bahagi, na mao ang Diyos may forever. Awan kang Abraham, bahala nag-angkan Cebu, kay batuon na akong share. Batuon na akong lugar sa dilang. Kaya ang Ginoo ay mantigong musanggap o kuplastar. Ang importante, relasyon namo ni Lot na dili magba. Ang imong desisyon, suon, sama ba sa desisyon na gihimo ni Abraham? O sama sa desisyon na gihimo ni